So starting with the multiplication problem, we have 31.2 times 0.04. With multiplication, when you have decimals, first you'll just multiply like usual. So you don't line up the decimal points or worry about that, just multiply the numbers as you would normally do. So here I'll just go ahead and multiply. I have this 4 and I'll multiply it by the numbers at the top. So 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 times 3 is 12. Now since the 0 is in front, you could go ahead and do the 0, but you would really just get the same result, because 0 times anything is just going to be 0. Either way, your digits should be 1248. And now to figure out how many place values you should have after the decimal point, you count how many there are in your problem. So there's one number after the decimal point in the top number, and then 2 numbers after the decimal point in the bottom number. So that's 3 altogether. So your answer should have 3 altogether. So going from the back, 1, 2, 3, you're going to have 1.248 as your final answer. And again, notice the 3 place values after the decimal point, just like you have in your original problem. So this here is your final answer. For a division problem, we have 7.056 divided by 0.16. Whatever you're dividing by, that cannot be a decimal. So when I set this up, like this, I'm going to move my decimal point so that I have just whole numbers. And so essentially this is like multiplying by a power of 10. So multiplying by 100, since I'm moving the decimal point 2 places. So if I do that to one number, to keep the relationship the same, I have to move my decimal point the same amount of places in the other number. So what I really have is 16 into 705.6. Let's go ahead and begin the division now. So I'm looking at 16 into 70. That's going to be 4 times. Then I do 4 times 16, which is 64. I subtract. I get 6. I bring down my 5, and then I start the process over again. 16 into 65 will be 4 times again. When I multiply, I get 64 again. I subtract, I get 1, and then I bring down the last digit of 6. 16 into 16 is 1 time. I multiply, I get 0, and so I'm done. And then my decimal point is going to match. And so our final answer is 44.1.